dwelling, whatnot. Um, we
Love
had
that
some.
word.
I know it's a good word. Um, you eventually were able to meet with the Bei Fongs and were able to negotiate the true release of Bubbles back to your custody, as well as potential trading with the Northern Water Tribe to with the Bei Fongs as well. And Bubbles was a gesture of good faith, um, as it were. However, you now are going to be heading to the Sand Tribe, to where Tarim's family is, to resolve the rest of the situation involving Bubbles. So with that, you're inside of a Gowling, the city where the Bei Fongs live. What do you do?
Did the Bei Fongs let us stay on their estate? Where did?
I
We
was
did.
saying
Yeah, we
Airbnb.
had a guest chambers.
Yeah,
That's right.
you were honored guest.
Yeah,
In
we had
rather
rooms.
disrespectful rooms, if you ask me.
Yeah. It's sassy.
Bless. We negotiated our way into a trade deal with the Northern Water Tribe.
Yes. Yes, that is accurate.
I'm sure that will have absolutely no repercussions.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Everything's fine.
Of course, at the ass crack of dawn, Tarim is already awake in full Tarim regalia and standing, I assume, in the Bei Fongs have a courtyard, some sort of outdoor space, but still on their estate. So Tarim is there watching Pengu and
The other one.
You can name one. I don't
No,
remember.
I did name her, and I can't forget.
You did.
Oh God! Watching the two of them frolic as Gilicorn lizards are wont to do. It's less frolicking and more like they're traipsing through the grass and like poking their heads up out of the long grass and then disappearing beneath. And then like a second later they pop their head up again and they're like 50 feet away and you're like, how did they get there? He's waiting, of course, for the others. And like I said, this is the ass crack of dawn. He told the others, I want to leave ASAP. Like, we don't need to be in Bei Fong. Or not Bei Fong. We don't need to be in Gowling. So that's where Tarim is. He's waiting. He'll definitely be the first awake today.
I think I'm going to take my time getting up. Yeah, Avari's going to wake up at her own leisure, take a very luxurious bath, and just do her best to make herself look her best. With the one exception of, rather than her usual braid, she's just going to let her hair be down today and just like brush it out. But yeah, she'll probably, if Tarim woke up at dawn, I'd say Avari probably woke up around 8:30.
Wow, like 2.5 hours later.
Yep.
Yep.
That checked out.
Her name.
Like she's gonna go check on. Was Bubbles staying at the camp or with her?
At the camp, I believe.
Okay, cool. Then she's just gonna order breakfast.
And
Hold
on. Tareem is just standing there waiting for everyone to arrive. Everyone else just sleeping on the ground.
Yeah, I forgot to split our party into people staying at the Bei Fongs and people staying in a camp. Where's the camp?
on the outskirts of what other city is
Of
it?
Galing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Galing.
Like a 15-minute walk.
Oh, in which case, I think you will find Tarim there.
Well,
As
at
he
the
is, in
camp?
fact. Yeah, like at the camp. If it's just a 15-minute walk, then he's walking back and forth between the two. Like, okay, they're not up. So he goes back to the Bei Fong estate. I don't see anybody in the courtyard. They're not up. He goes back to the camp. They're still not up. Goes back to the Bei Fong estate.
I'm gonna see if Asiya just passively notices you and just doesn't get up. What is your quote unquote stealth?
Oh, my stealth, it's a number. It's a big number, and it is a number that you're going to roll against when I give the number to you. That number being my stealth, which is the skill that describes how sneakily Tareem is able to
I
move
hear you
around,
scrolling.
and
That's why
it's
he's crawling.
it's a 1 yellow and 2 green.
Alright, well, let's see how this goes. Oh, yeah. Asiya absolutely notices you, just doesn't react.
Excellent.
By about probably the fifth time, she's going to just sit up, look over to you, and say, why are you hurrying?
Hurrying. I'm not hurrying. I'm simply making sure everything is as it is. Yes, Asiya, you look like you have gotten many good hours of rest. That's good. I will see to it that you wake Karru up. And Tareem quickly turns around and heads back towards the Bei Fong estate. Very unusual.
Asiya stands up and grabs him by the shoulder and says, you may be a good liar, but you do not have good composure.
Who told you I was a good liar? I'll kill them.
And Asiya raises a eyebrow and says, your reaction tells me.
Yes. Well, I am simply anticipating the challenges along our journey back to the desert.
I understand. But trying to go back into the desert, exhausted, I'm sure you understand, is a bad idea.
Of course I understand. Don't lecture me on the desert, woman.
Then don't break your own rules.
Ooh.
Relax.
Oh.
He's of course like standing, like his body language is such that he's not directly facing like center of chest to your center of chest. He's like standing off to the side or something. Like if your back is to the camp, his chest is closer to the Bei Fong estate or whatever, something
Yeah.
like that. And so he's looking off in that direction and then looks at you when you say that
Mm-hmm.
and looks away again. I'm rested, Asiya. I assure you.
Are you? What of your mind? You are anxious.
Listen to mom.
We will discuss this no further.
If you
Be
wish.
ready.
We're at the camp, is that correct?
Yes.
Kiki will like overhear this like conversation, be like, take this outside. Someone's trying to get some sleep.
Kiki.
Asiya will look back, and then turn back to Tarim and says, "Is remember that they may be strong people, but they are only children. They're not like you and me."
He stops in his tracks and keeps going.
Yeah, that tracks.
I
He's
guess I'm
thinking of,
awake now.
yeah, you guess? You guess?
Asiya will go back to the camp and start cooking.
Mm, real food.
Wow.
What?
Nothing.
You know what? You're not up yet.
Yeah, I actually have no idea if Kiki was at the Bei Fongs or at the camp.
Well, you're at the camp now.
But I'm at the camp now.
So,
Kiki will get up and be like, so yeah, she's like, I guess I'm up now, kind of thing, and yeah, I could use some breakfast. And can you make it pretty quick? I'm gonna go see if I can find this little one's family before we head out. I'm talking, like pointing to the
Creature.
the
the
creature,
doggo.
the badger dog.
Asiya sees the animal and offers it a piece of food.
The badger dog eagerly looks up at you and kind of sniffs your hand and then eats the food very happily.
It snatches the food out of your hand, but in a gentle way, not like gonna bite your hand off, but like quickly before you change your mind.
Yes.
Asiya sees that and says, "Is the little one has no family."
You know.
The way it takes the food, it is desperate.
Listen, never say no to some food.
Yes, but if it were from a family, and if it were from, and if it had been able to gain food readily, it would not snatch it so quickly. It would take
The
it.
table she does this all the time, and she has a family. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but well,
I know you're role playing. It's totally fine. I don't want the point of this story is not that is to find out that she doesn't have a fat family.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
it says it's a truly domesticated animal, one that has been trained. We'll take it gently and enjoy their food.
Is that true, little one? Do you not have a family?
With its eyes kind of tear up and it looks around you, and then it looks resolving at you, and starts rubbing against your leg.
Baby. Well, we'll be your family. Come here. And she'll scoop up the badger dog, and you know what? I'm doing it. I thought maybe I would name because I wanted to make it bear because Ushi means bear and do it in like Japanese instead. But you know what? Ushi's fine. We're gonna call her Ushi. It's gonna be
Ushi too.
God.
Ushi.
Wait, what? I thought Kuma was bear.
Kuma is bear in Japanese, but like I was gonna do that, but like fuck it. I was
Okay.
gonna name her Ushi. It's basically gonna be Ushi.
Yeah.
Insane.
I'll do Kuma.
Insane.
I'll do Kuma.
Sorry, you said
Kuma?
Kuma. K-U-M-A. Bear.
Yeah.
K-U-M-A. Ushi in Japanese. Or I mean, it's bear in Japanese.
At no point in that explanation did you ever say Kuma, so I was very confused.
Yeah, no, it is Kuma. I was thinking about doing that, but I was like, it'll be Kuma. It'll be Kuma.
Right.
The Chinese word for bear is not good and not cute, so it's Kuma. I'll call you Kuma because you're ferocious like a bear.
Just a
Was that-
Platypus bear?
Just a bear?
Yeah.
Karru. Does Karru wake up saying just a bear?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I hate how there are like 8 different species of bear. Like 8
But the
different
one thing
combinations
was
of bear
up there.
inside Avatar.
Yep.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go throw my stuff into the dryer now.
Alright,
No, you're
Okay.
good.
so yeah. But yeah, Asia's cooking breakfast, and she actually has a decent survival now, so she's not horrible at it.
Excellent.
And now we just have to wait an hour and a half for Avari. Meanwhile, we're having second breakfast.
11sies? Luncheon?
Tarim will join you for breakfast. Is there any meat that he could share with Pengu and Doma?
Oh, of course, there's always meat.
Doma.
This is what you're seeing is Studio Ghibli cooking.
Oh, I can see and hear and taste the scents and bubbles of the of the sizzling oil.
You're cooking bubbles?
Oh yes. Bye.
I know, there's nothing better in this world than watching Studio Ghibli cooking.
Yeah. No, I can definitely agree with that.
Who is that?
The production company behind like Spirited Away and House Moon Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The good stuff.
Yes, if you go search into YouTube Studio Ghibli cooking, there will be a compilation.
Okay.
I feel like you've
All
definitely
your
seen a
bacon
Studio
burn.
Ghibli movie before.
I probably have. I just haven't realized it until right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh,
Spirited Away. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Avari might just be a little stir crazy. No, not the anxious. So I think she'll eventually just like excuse herself and go check in on Bubbles and everybody else, but mostly Bubbles.
You're alone at the estate now.
Yeah, so she's just gonna fuck off and go check on you guys.
Oh, okay. I thought you were sticking
Yeah,
around the estate.
Well, no, because she realized that Tarim isn't showing up, so she has no one to bully. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go check on Bubbles. And
Meanwhile,
as soon as she's,
everyone's having second breakfast already.
Yeah, I think she'll show up like complaining about how sparse the food was at the estate. You know, like I was expecting a breakfast, but apparently prisoners of war eat better than me. So, hi guys.
Hello. Meanwhile, you get a bowl of rice, egg, and bacon.
Bacon. Thank you.
Hungry now, guys.
I'm so hungry.
Don't ask me how we
Oh,
keep the
yeah.
eggs preserved because I have no idea.
I assume you harvested them locally.
You found a wild chicken.
Yeah.
There's actually a wild chicken that's been following us the entire time.
Just a normal chicken?
And his name is Fridge.
You know what? Lizards lay eggs.
Yeah. But
No,
they're
what?
little eggs.
You leave my lizards alone.
I mean, they were getting all "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" earlier.
Please don't put that image in my head. Alright, so yeah. Asiya says is, well, I've procured funds for our next set of endeavors. I.e., I have 750 coppers now.
Nice. And
Very
we have a few days to wait until these bubble stealers have a craft ready for us. So
For the time being, intention is go to the desert and
Oh, what are they making? I'm
they're
sorry to
making
interrupt.
us a ship.
they're preparing a ship for us.
Yeah. So we're getting our supplies and everything they're stocking up for us.
Right, which is why we could head back with and resolve the Bubbles ownership thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we
Because
did resolve the ownership.
We resolved the ownership, but now we need to tell the Sand Tribe to fuck off and stop poaching.
Yep.
Yeah. That's it.
We get to have a home visit.
So while we're waiting we're waiting a couple of days for the boat.
We probably have about a 3-day window, I'd say.
Yeah, you have 3 to 5 days because they're stocking it full of provisions.
Yeah, made and ready.
Getting the crew ready for it.
They probably also want their best goods to show that they're worthy of trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could go bully some other people.
Hell yeah. Who are we bullying? Why are we bullying them?
Oh, aren't we gonna go to the Sand Tribe and yell at them for stealing animals that don't belong to them?
Yeah, we're gonna do that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So let's do that.
Yep. Have you had second breakfast?
I think I've had 1.5.
This is gonna be a fucking joke now, isn't it? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. God, what was our ration rate again? Can't remember. How much is it for a day of rations?
Our ration rate?
Yeah, like coppers to rations. Can't remember.
Oh.
I'm trying to decide how much I need to detect to have enough rations for 2 weeks for the group.
Well, it won't matter because the ship is fully stocked.
I think he means that it doesn't.
Is that a demand we had or something? Is that a demand we had?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't send a ship with the prospect of trade without making sure that your crew is fully fed.
And then we killed them along the way, and now we just have a ship.
Of course.
I want to go meet Tarim's family, and I want to yell at them.
All right.
Please stop doing that to my family.
Why?
And members of my family.
You know, for how much gear is inside the inside that list, we have purchased very little of it.
Our cup overfloweth. We've been blessed many a time with windfall. You know, remember from the very beginning we found free vehicles, free mounts, weapons and armor. We have been our cup overfloweth with generosity.
Yeah, armor that we can't use a majority of the time.
Hey, you know, it is what sometimes it just is what it is.
Potato.
Right. Potato.
I like the idea that it's just like in a little corner of the wagon sailor. With like a tarp pulled over it, just in case we have to put it on. But not so it's plainly visible so we don't look like Fire Nation.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if we're ready, let's load up Bubbles and get going.
Yeah, come on, Bubbles. And she's gonna give him some fruit that she snuck out from the Bei Fong estate.
Bubbles kind of nuzzles you for a second and then noshes down on the fruit very
Yeah,
happily.
yeah, good, Bubbles.
Aw.
We're gonna go yell at the mean people who took you.
We already yelled at them.
We're gonna yell at them some more.
Sometimes I feel like that Avari should be a willpower build.
Yeah, right.
Alright, let's go.
Tarim does want to before we leave town, head back into the desert. At some point early in the morning, he wants to find like a weapons shop or somewhere in Gowling, uh, uh, to procure darts for his blowgun.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Here's a question, Tarim. Do you have any money left?
That's a great question. We were given money, right? We have money. I have no money. I have zero money in my in my account or in my on my sheet. Were we given money?
No.
No.
Ah, shit. All right. Well, Tarim's gonna go steal some darts.
There we go.
Okay, make a skullduggery check.
Very good. Hold up. Give me 1 second.
Because this
After
is a
that,
stat
this is a stat that I have to
that
roll.
you
Well,
definitely have.
during the delicious breakfast, um, and the morning time, reflecting with Asiya, Tarim leveled up, and so I grew to dedication, and now I have 4 cunning instead of 3.
Ooh, very
So
good.
so you said skullduggery, which just happens to be cunning, you say? Well, you didn't say that. I said it.
Yes, you did say it, and yes, you're right.
Playing with
How
your
hard?
own rulebook.
How hard is this?
It's going to be an average check, and you're going to get a boost die due to the early morning hours.
Oh hell yeah! We only have 1 story point. Ew, not good.
And I am going to put
Yeah.
the story point to
Oh
upgrade
no!
one.
Oh, no! All right, I need to steal some darts. Here we go.
You got this.
No!
You don't got this.
A triumph, though.
No! That's fun. Look at that roll.
Why? What did you steal instead?
Yeah,
Well,
what did you steal instead?
what did I steal? Okay, so I guess 0 successes. I obviously don't find or don't successfully steal darts, and I think with 4 advantage, it's because there aren't any for sale at all. I find the weapon shop or like a smithy or whatever that I'm looking for, and there are no darts here to steal. How about instead of there being any darts to steal, there are is the ga- is the Fire Nation present here?
No.
No.
No. Okay. I don't know. What do you guys have an idea? Do you guys have an idea for this triumph? This triumph?
I have no idea.
Were you here, Karru,
Maybe.
for the
Yeah.
check? Okay.
You were going to a weapon shop and you wanted to steal darts.
Steal some darts. Darts that do not exist here,
Yeah,
sadly.
because you failed, but you have a try. I don't know.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Maybe you didn't steal darts, but maybe you found daggers or something? I don't know. Some other throwing weapon?
Throwing weapons. Well, I guess I could do that.
I have no idea.
You find hand axes.
Hand axes. I can't use those. I guess I
mean,
could. They're technically ranged, yeah.
well, no, they're melee light, but any melee weapon you can throw using the range light skill.
Yes,
Anything's a
yes.
ranged weapon with a high enough brawn.
With a high enough brawn. Um,
Andy!
what
Sorry.
about I find a nice crossbow?
or a
Ooh.
boomerang.
Ooh. I'm
Yes.
fine with that.
Whoa.
A boomerang? That would be neat. Yeah, fuck it. Can I get a boomerang instead?
Yeah, you can get a boomerang.
I'm looking at the boomerang stat block. It's not bad. Like, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage, but it's got guided too, and that sounds fun.
You miss, so it just tries again.
Yeah. Yep, basically.
Yeah.
You're not a proud
Disorient.
owner
what?
of a Southern Water Tribe boomerang.
Oh, very nice. Book says disorient 2, but it probably feels like a disorient 3. Getting hit in the head by that thing is going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. I find a boomerang. Now, do I steal the boomerang?
No, you steal it.
Oh, very good. I feel bad for the man. I gotta leave something.
A band-aid.
Tarim digs through his coin purse, and all he can find is one of Avari's band-aids. For the days
Maybe
to
it's
come
one that
ahead.
she's giving him that looks like Pengu.
Oh.
The Band-Aid Bandit.
That's a signature.
That's it. So I'll
Yeah.
leave this band-aid behind, and I'll walk away with the boomerang.
You know what? The only reason I'm gonna flavor the only reason why he's able to just walk out with it is because Asiya came in and started legitimately shopping.
Oh my god, yes.
Because I was thinking about getting war fans
Oh,
as a
very
martial
nice.
arts weapon because fans actually thematically would help with firebending.
Thematically, for sure. I haven't done it yet, but I've been thinking about writing a small section on like how to treat items as implements for bending, so that I don't have to write like here's a itemization or a stat block for specific, like only this type of staff affects airbending rather than so
Yeah.
like just I feel like using implements, like you doing them as implements is like the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But I'll leave that up to
update.
you guys. You guys can handle that. That's for you guys to pioneer and me to watch.
Implements are really fun, but I think you're gonna want to ixnay the anything equivalent to the magic rings.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go the whole like full Monty with implements, but like the way that you can you can use one implement, for instance, and 2 war fans would count as one implement.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and just buy 2 war fans. Let's see if I can negotiate the price down.
Right, so Tarim successfully stolen a boomerang.
Hell yes.
I'm gonna try and negotiate the price down with my. Oh wait, I don't have 1 presence anymore. Oh yes, I do. What would the post check to try and negotiate the price for war fans down since I'm trying to buy 2?
Negotiation is opposed by negotiation, isn't it?
Negotiation or cool depends.
Oh yeah.
Uh
That
oh.
makes sense. Better hope he's not trying to keep his cool
We
this
lost
early.
our
Uh-oh.
storyteller.
We lost an
Oh
imbecile.
no. That's kind of important. We need our boy.
Oh, you don't think? By the way, while this is going on, I have an important role to show you, Tarim.
Please.
So I did this without an implement.
I think we're
I get-
all set there.
Yes.
Are you sharing it in the Discord?
Yeah, you shared
It's
it in
in
the
chat.
Discord.
Nice.
Wow. 5 boosts and 3 setbacks. Wow. Where's the difficulty?
Master.
Oh, okay.
Now, granted, I did do it slightly wrong. There should have been 2 reds because even like I suffered 2 extra strain to reduce the downgrades to nothing, but I guess that's not how it works.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
back.
because you don't reduce downgrades, you reduce difficulty by suffering
Correct.
strain, right? Yeah.
But I did get 21 damage 3 times because that was with auto fire on.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah,
I wiped an encounter.
Yeah, after the after the rolls were done.
Focus seems really good. Maybe it should be 3 strain or something.
Innate focus.
Not innate focus. The focus like universal additional effect or the mod or whatever. The one that lets you suffer strain to decrease difficulty.
It would honestly, it's not as bad in this. So the reason that did so much damage is I have 5 intellect. My casting attribute is intellect. So
Oh,
as
once
a
per session you can add your.
no,
No,
I just
empowered.
empowered it. So it did double damage. Innate focus increases its damage by a further 2 for literally free. It's just as long as I'm not using an implement.
An implement, yeah.
And then I automatically for free get stun and auto fire because I have elementalist lightning.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
So it granted, this also cost me 13 strain to cast.
But for 13, did you go? I assume you didn't go over your
No, I have
threshold
20
there.
strain threshold.
Holy shit, piss. That's a lot
I
of
also
grit.
have 4 talents to regenerate strain.
That is awesome.
Every time the GM flips a point, I get 2 strain back. I have bad habit, which I haven't used yet, and then I also have
Second wind?
No, I do have second wind. You're right. And then I also have heroic intellect, so I can spend a destiny point to regenerate 5.
Nice.
How much
Right.
XP is this
So,
character right now?
Guys,
That's my last question before we continue, I guess.
A lot. I could tell you later.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know we're on a bit of a time crunch because Kiki has to go in what, an hour?
I was just showing it was
Eh.
got murdered by his internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. My internet crapped out for a minute there.
Yeah.
Glad you're back. We were nervous.
WB.
All right, so y'all are loading up bubbles and aboard the Sand Sailor / cart / ship,
Thing.
your transformer.
Yeah. And I don't know where I want to go, but I don't know how to get there, so I have to rely on everybody else.
This sounds like a survival check is in order to make your way across the desert.
Oh no, not good
I
at
mean-
that.
I see. Finally.
Tarim's gonna.
Sees
He's still
everybody's
gonna
awake.
fail.
I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna fail.
Maybe Asiya should do it.
No, I'll only succeed if Tarim fails.
Oh, okay.
Now, Tarim, because you're going back to your homeland, you're going to need 2 boost die.
Hell yeah.
Whoa. Hey.
Because you would know exactly how to get back home.
I certainly do. Or do I? Haha. Here we go. 2 boost die. What's the difficulty? How many setback?
It's going to be 1 setback die because of the howling winds. And it's going to be a total of 3 purple.
You can do this. Right?
Here we go. Yes, hell yes.
Is there an X
See
over
here?
the black?
I
Because
know.
it's a remove setback.
It got removed.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I understand.
All right, so what would you like to do with those? So you definitely succeed in getting back home. What would you like to do with those advantages, though?
I think with the advantage, I would like to. Tarim wants to bring the sailor and our crew into a small, like a small outcropping of a cave, a place that he would go to rest with his father when they were when they were herding the various desert animals, desert flocks, at a place that they would go to for respite during like the high sun of the day before they would head back into town. So it's a little ways out of town, and he wants to bring us there to A, park the sailor, and B, not just immediately go straight into this village. Give us a little bit of what's that word? Discretion.
Yeah, I'm absolutely okay with that for those advantages.
Thank you all. This was a quick and simple journey, not nearly as arduous as our others. As you can see, he like walks out out of the cave system a little bit and walks out onto the little bit of the raised landing or whatever of sand and rock and stone that leads up to the mouth of the cave. And it overlooks, like you can see just in the distance, the village. That is my home. That is where, unfortunately, we will find those poachers, if they are around.
Juicy.
I have not been home in a long time. I am shamed.
But you're redeemed, right?
One cannot redeem the loss of one's father, Avari.
It wasn't your fault.
No, but I chose. It doesn't matter. Come. We will walk into the village and I will face these consequences.
Avari's going to walk up and fall in a pace behind to Tarim's left.
Oh.
And just stand as properly as she can and try to exude some degree of officiality.
All right, great. What are the rest of y'all gonna do?
Asiya will probably stand to the right as she looks, due to her physique and just kind of intimidating stature, looks more like a bodyguard to Tarim than Tarim looks like a bounty hunter.
I love it. Karru, Kiki,
I'm
will
sorry,
you
I'm
stay
like
here,
so out of it right now.
or will you join us?
Uh, Kiki will. Oh God, Kiki will do whatever. Asia's doing, or not Asiya, whatever.
So Asia's being the muscle right now.
Whatever Avari's doing. Just follow along. I'm
Okay, so
retired.
then you're going to be with Avari as the moral support side of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go.
Which makes
back
sense because
to- I'm sure that will have no unfortunate repercussions.
What did you say you were doing?
I'll follow Kiki and Avari. I'm sure that'll have no negative repercussions.
No, not.
you're on the emotional support side, not the muscle side.
I should probably
Did
be going
we?
on the muscle side.
Yeah.
Did we leave Bubbles in Gaoling, or did we
No.
take
No,
him with
Bubbles
us?
is with us.
Okay, is he?
Yeah, Bubbles is with
who
you.
drags
Back
the
in-
car?
Yeah, Bubbles.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm gonna do it again?
I'll go with the muscle. I think that probably makes the most sense. Also, I have to be quiet because I guess I woke my roommate up.
Oh,
Fuck
whoops.
your roommate.
I would rather not. I mean, to each their own, but
To each their own. Jeez. Okay. We walk into we walk across the sands, the arid landscape, and into the village.
So the arid landscape soon flows away into a small oasis as you enter into the village, where you can see shrubbery all around you. And in the middle of the village, you can smell the fresh scent of fresh water with lilacs scents
Oh,
floating in the breeze. You can see many young children running around wearing garbs similar to Tarim's to protect them from the desert heat. As you approach, some of the adults look warily at all of you, and then they seem to recognize at least the Sand tribe's garb of Tarim and shout, "Stranger, what are you and your fellows doing here?"
oh God! I didn't think this far.
You got this.
Maybe
They want to know what we're doing here, right?
We he puts his he puts his two hands up to show that he has no weapons in hand. And as he slowly approaches, puts one hand out to the individual who called him stranger, like a handshake gesture.
With
And as
that, oh, sorry.
he walks close to say, "We are hunting poachers," and continues to walk to the gentleman or
hunting.
person.
Well, and the gentleman looks at you, and he appears to be in his mid-50s, has short gray hair, and his Sand tribe's garb is very torn and looks like he's not been in the best conditions. And he says, "Poachers? What? Are you saying there are poachers from our tribe?"
Did
And when
he
he says
take
our
my?
tribe,
Oh, our tribe. Sorry.
when he says our tribe, he takes his hand, shakes it, and whispers that our tribe in your ear.
He takes my hand, whispers, "What?"
When he whispers, "Are there poachers from our tribe?" and he whispers the our tribe in your ear.
Okay. So he takes his forearm and he grabs the end of it, near his elbow, bringing him close, locking himself into an embrace with this person to show that he trusts this person with his life, and trusts that he won't stab me in the throat now that we are close and engaged with one another. And he whispers back, "The scent has brought me to, or the trail has brought us to this tribe. Yes, brother."
With that, oh, what's her?
No,
Oh,
I'm
I
just
didn't
bracing myself.
Oh, okay, very good then. Um, with that, he looks at you and whispers back, "Brother," and then he pulls himself back slightly, and says, "You and your friends are most welcome here. We take a foul view of those who are poachers amongst this tribe. You, you look familiar. What is your name?"
Oh boy. He's trying. Does he give his real name?
You know your name, right?
Gillimon.
No, I know
Grump.
my name. Grump. Ooh.
Avari's doing her best to be cheerful right now.
He's going to. He's already embraced it with the crew, so I think he's at the point where he's ready to tell them. Yeah, he introduces himself and he says it loud enough. "My name is Shoji Tarim. My father was Bomo Tarim, or Shoji Bomo.
We have
He
heard
was
your name Or I forget.
Yeah, you've
Once.
heard it. Just the once.
With it, he looks at you and says, "My name is Dirk, and I have heard tales of your doings. Your
You have
family will
heard
be most." Oh, sorry.
you have heard tales of the great Gilamon?
I heard what you did to in relation to your father.
He kind of like hangs his head in shame.
Bari's gonna put a hand on his shoulder and kind of nudge him to stand up straight.
Aw.
This man
Feeling
has. Sorry.
feeling that he stands his head up, yeah. And you were saying?
This man has ensured our safety, has kept us alive, and has provided sage advice when some of us were too immature to listen. Whatever you may have heard, he has grown tenfold.
Well, regardless of what I have heard, his family will be excited to see him once again.
My family?
Your mother
Sure.
and sister.
Is that his face goes, pale. And his eyes wide. No. No, I could not face them.
I'd love to meet your sister.
No.
You have a sister you never told us?
I, we cannot
Vicky, we
stay.
have to meet her.
We're here for poachers. He tries to like take control of the situation and speak up over everybody. Poachers who have given this tribe, the Umaru, a bad name. But that is not all. And he pulls out the patches that he took from Wan Chitong's library and he throws them to the ground in front of everybody. Or at least Dirk.
Dirk.
What?
We have an unpaid debt that must be met. All of us.
To whom?
It is Wan Shitong, he who knows
One.
10,000 things.
What is a wand?
Dirk, brothers, sisters, it is not a surprise that you have forgotten. I have forgotten. I was a boy in this tribe. My father never told me. My mother never told me. This was a grave secret I had to find for myself. And it is a great shame for our people. Once we were the friends and assistants and aids to the great knowledge spirit of the desert. Once we worked in his favor, but our ancestors, they exploited the spirit. They died, some of them. And he gestures to the emblems, the sigils, the tatters that he threw to the ground. This is all that remains of that legacy. We
It's
can
what you.
bury the. Oh, go on.
Oh, you go, and then I'll continue.
I was just gonna say we can bury this in the sands and forget it ever happened, or we can make amends.
If what you say is true, then we owe a great debt to this Wang Chu Tong, one that may never be repaid.
No, I think we can repay this. It will take some time. But the Great Spirit is not without reason.
I must bring this to the elders at once. They must decide what we must do. In the meantime, why don't you go visit your dear sister and mother? I believe that they will be most excited to see you.
Ugh, do I have to? Ma,
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's meet his sister.
how many other I'm like were there other people in the in this, I don't know, village center or whatever? Did he get the attention of anybody other than Dirk when he
So,
was talking
what?
about Wan Shi Tong?
Yeah. So you got the attention of Dirk initially, and as you spoke, and your voice carried, you got a small crowd gathered around you, especially when you threw the patches on the ground. So there's a small crowd of people who know that Tarim has once again returned, or Guillemon has.
Senor Grump.
The shepherd's son returns, and he's a fucking freak. What the hell? He begrudgingly joins his party and says, "I suppose it's time you meet my mother."
And sister?
Yes, of course.
This is exciting.
Very exciting.
All right. So I presume it's time to meet mom
Mm-hmm,
slash
mm-hmm.
sister.
Meet the parents. Oh, parents.
They probably lived on the outskirts of town because they were him and dad were shepherds of a sort. We tended to some type of desert animal flock.
Yes. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So you quickly make your way to the edge of town, and before you stands a small hut with its door closed, and this fresh smell of stew wafts through the air through the window of the hut. You can hear an older woman's voice shout, "Daughter, it's time for lunch."
Food. They're serving food.
So my mic's been muted.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh no!
Whoops.
Were we missing like key roleplay elements from Asiya?
No, you were just missing my snarky comments.
Oh, that's even better.
No, the snarky comments.
Yeah, no.
You'll have to go back, re-record them separately, and then splice them
Yes.
into the podcast.
I can't remember them off the top of my head. They're all improvised.
That sounds like a you problem.
So when
No.
you said your family was a shepherd animals, I said, "Oh, they raise gillicorns." And then Imbecile said, "That makes sense." So I'm like, "Oh, they can hear me." And then I looked at my audio monitor. My mic wasn't lighting up.
Welcome to Saturday.
Yes, welcome to Saturday, where I constantly forget to unmute myself. Which is weird because I don't remember muting myself, because I know I muted myself once to go bring my dog in. And then I must have muted myself another time, and I can't remember what it was, because I know I unmuted myself then.
right.
Well, at the
You're-
prospect of lunch, I'm gonna run up ahead and drop all decorum.
Oh my god!
Uh,
You just
Ooh.
run into my mom's house?
Asiya,
No, I want to run up to like the gate.
as soon as Asiya sees the inclination of Avari running, she grabs her around the waist and carries her like a child.
God.
But there's
Never lets us do anything fun.
What? do you do
Which
when
is
you
usually right.
what do you do when you enter a house for the first time?
Bring a gift?
Well, that's informal settings. No. You do not run in shouting lunch.
I'm just gonna
You
run up to the gate.
you should let Tarim go first and introduce us.
This is his hand is like shaking at the entrance, the threshold, like a doorknob or beads or whatever it is they've got here to
More like beads to let the fresh
yeah.
air.
He before stepping in, back to the party, lowers his veil and takes off the cloth, the wrap from around his head, his face, and the helmet that he wears beneath the wrap. He takes off the helmet, and you see like really flat, slick, oily looking, short, messy black hair.
You know there was a bath at the Bei Fong estate?
We traveled for several hours in the desert today.
You get that sweaty?
And he steps forward, pushes the beads aside.
And with
Looks
that,
into the space. And
sorry.
with that, no, it just looks into the space and he does nothing. He's stunned. And with that, sorry.
No, you're good. With that, your mother looks at the doorway, hearing the beads purr, looks at you, and you lock eyes with each other. Your sister was busy mid slurp of her stew, and everyone just freezes for a second. No one saying anything, just gazing at you. And your mother shouts, "Son, can it be you?"
His face fully mangled. Mom. He falls to the ground on his knees. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I left you.
Yep. Upon seeing that, Asiya is going to, still holding Avari under her arm, will grab Kayae and just drag them out. And I assume Karru will follow after. Karu's deaf and muted. I'm just saying he follows after because emotions are not his strong suit.
No,
Yes.
that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
What was that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, my phone started auto playing something, and I didn't know if you could hear it.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah. But yeah. Avari's getting carried out. Kayae's getting dragged out. Karu's following out. We're letting them have this emotional scene.
He needs emotional support.
Not from you.
Oh my god.
Fine.
She'll shoot Kuma into the house.
That stew smells really good.
Yeah, Kuma will go in for emotional support, but then just like be sniffing the ground in the kitchen to see if there's any scraps.
Managed to find a few scraps of roasted chicken.
Kuma.
Yeah.
With that, Tareem's mother looks at him and says, "Son, I thought that you were dead after all these years. To see you again is a blessing that I did not think I deserved."
Tarim looks up from the from being prostrate on the ground and looks up at his mother, weepy eyed and still like tears in his eyes. You recognize me? Even still, even now? And he like gestures to the mangledness of his lower jaw.
She says, "You are my son. No matter how many days and nights separate us, nor how you may change over the seasons, I will always know who you
He falls to the ground again. He's still weepy. Continues to apologize profusely before attempting to shakily get to his like stand from his knees. I have something. I have something for you. I no. It is gone.
are. What is gone?
It is nothing. It was nothing.
Come in, see your sister. Who and your sister is kind of sitting there like slack jawed, like just in amazement that you're here.
Still, like soup still coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, it's like slowly dripping out of her mouth.
It's been a long time. You've grown into quite a beautiful woman.
How old is she?
And she's quite a bit younger than Tarim, so she would have only been a very young child when Tarim.
Yeah, Tarim is 36, so she's however different old than that. I
Oh, okay.
imagine she's like at least 20, maybe.
Yes,
So
she's
she's like
about.
his age, maybe.
So someone for Kayae to flirt with.
Oh.
You can make
Get it,
this a true
girl.
family reunion.
Are we still
Oh.
outside? Am I still being held?
Mum and sister, who definitely have names that I would maybe use in this situation. I have some companions I would like you to meet. It looks. I bring you shame imposing without asking. I'm sorry.
Eh,
Think nothing of
eh,
it, son.
And now Asiya will let go of the two. Although she will hold Avari she will hold Avari by the collar.
Avari runs like Ushi does when you put down Shui's food.
Yeah.
And let her go.
It's very much the back of the collar. She's like trying to run like ahead.
Do not run into houses unless they are on fire.
She's gonna
Oh.
quickly make up a little ice sculpture flower thingy. I have a present. Can I go in?
Yes, you may.
Thanks.
Gotta go.
I swear, it's like herding cats.
Avari will take a deep breath and be polite and walk in and offer the flower to Tarim's mom. It is an honor to meet you. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. Your son fights with bravery and honor.
Tarim's mother looks at you and says, "Ooh, a flower giving me a flower. How beautiful."
Oh.
She's gonna blush really red and kind of shrink.
My God, is mom flirting with you? Oh, jeez.
No, what she's doing is she's getting ready to prepare the arranged marriage of Tarim and Avari.
Hi, Mrs. Corn. I'm Kiki.
He
It has,
smiles and says,
it has the juice. Thank you. That is all.
"He said it has the juice."
Yeah, I did. I called her
Oh man.
Oh, I know. With that, she just kind of chuckles and says, "Oh, my dear Kiki, how pleasant it is to meet you, especially one as humorous as you."
She'll kind of bow nervously and chuckle and move like down the line and 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 Sister Corn and kind of like bow nervously.
You can see the soup juice running from her face, and she smiles and says, "It was a pleasure to meet you."
Likewise.
I just realized we've been calling Tarim by his last name this entire time.
Shoji's his family name. Tarim's his given
Oh,
name. You're
so
good.
so you've been using the opposite naming convention that they use in Avatar.
Yeah, just because I figured the Sand Tribes would be really weird. I don't know.
Okay.
And most people we see in Avatar only have one name anyway, so who knows where their family names go? Well, I guess Toph Bei Fong. Bei Fong is their last name,
Yeah.
but again, maybe it's not like that all over the world.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. There's nothing to support it. I just made it up.
Yeah. I think the Earth Kingdoms were the only ones with last names because
There's so many of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Earth Kingdom is the most populated, I should say. That being said, let's continue.
So with that, your mother looks at you and your friends and says, "Come, I've made plenty of stew. Why don't we all sit down and tell us why have you visited after such a long time?"
He starts, he partakes. He just kind of takes it all in. He's very silent, and I imagine during the meal, both Kiki and Avari take plenty of opportunity to fill in the space with talking about our travels recently, like the things that we've done, how we met. Tarim is happy to kind of take a back seat and not have to talk. I think he's also making not. He's also he and his sister are making eye contact every once in a while because she was just a bit little babe, little child when he left, and so he feels, I don't know, he feels very like he's a stranger to her, and she's a stranger to him. He's looking at her and seeing, Karru and Avari, and he's realizing he knows more about them than he does her. But he tells Mom, we're here for poachers and to make amends with Huan Shitong.
Yeah, they kind of stole our bubbles.
His mother looks at you and says, "What's a bubbles?"
Do you want to meet him?
Yeah, I'd be happy to meet Bubbles.
Currently, Bubbles is terrorizing the Gillicorn pack.
Avari will kind of jump up from her seat, where she's undoubtedly been stuffing her face this entire time, and take the sister by the hand and be like, "Come on, you want to meet Bubbles? He's really nice."
With that, she kind of looks flustered for a second and says, "Sure."
And Avari is going to dart out of the home towards wherever Bubbles is parked.
I believe you left Bubbles near the cave, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's quite a walk out of town.
Oh, is it? Fuck. Never mind. I assumed that we had brought him up with us so he wouldn't get stolen again.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah,
up to you
that's
all.
a good point. We could have brought Bubbles to town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he therefore is right outside the right outside mom's house.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Is we just like parked our car out front.
Yeah. Okay.
And Avari is going to give some fruits to mom and sister. Be like, you can feed him. He's really sweet.
With that, they both trepidatiously go ahead and feed Bubbles some of the fresh fruit, and Bubbles kind of snorts and then gives them a big lick on the face.
Oh, good boy, Bubbles. Good Bubbles.
Your sister says "ew" and starts like kind of washing her face with her hands.
He's testing to see if they'll be good when he eats them.
Right.
I think the other Gila-corns around here are mostly just like incidental. They're like pests. I don't remember what desert animals there are, but we probably, I don't know, like, oh, camelephants. We probably were working with camelephants, a small camelephant flock or something, which has long since, I don't know, probably been abandoned. I don't think mom and sister would have kept up with it.
Not that you can see anyway.
It's a sad sight. You know, my father and I, we used to spend our days out here, brushing the camelephants. I used to want to be a caravaner, if you could believe it.
Well,
That involves a lot of people.
People and no financial, acumen, know-how, money. I'm so bad with my money. I could not imagine being a trader. Not in this life now, anyway.
well, you see, I have this plan. It's called if you invest into, uh, if you invest into this cabbage venture I've been getting my dividends from. I get 5% of your of your investment.
5%, you say? I what can I do with 0?
Uh, well, you can take
Can
none.
And
Can I
he
offer?
laughs. He chuckles at you, Asiya.
I know. I was making a joke about pyramid schemes.
What were you saying? I think it was Vari.
No, I was just gonna like pull out like 10 copper and try to sneak it into Tarim's pocket without him noticing.
If you want to do that, you can make a skullduggery check versus his perception.
Okay.
My vigilance is 1 yellow and 2 green.
Well, I'm just gonna give it to you then.
Oh, you're just gonna hand me 10 copper?
Avari
It's
has
gonna be like-
one cunning, right?
Yeah. 3 cunning.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Avari's
I thought
cunning.
I had. Yeah, I have 2 willpower and 1 brawn. I have 2 agility, 3 intellect, 3 cunning, 2 willpower, 4 presence.
This is a decent spread. You are fucked if you ever get touched in combat, though.
She in combat.
She's a scholar, an aristocrat, a scholar, and a physician.
She's a medic, yeah.
Anyway.
Conscientious objector.
Avari, what is this for? And he points to the 10 copper in your hands that you were pushing
Sounds
his
like
way.
a good investment idea. I think you should do it.
He takes the 10 copper and puts it in his bag. I will put it under consideration. Thank you.
Okay.
He's already
And
thinking
she's just
about
gonna-
what he can do with the 10 copper.
She's just gonna give Bubbles some scritches behind the ears and just kind of love on him a little bit and be like, we need to find whoever is in charge of acquiring animals for trade and do something. What were we supposed to do?
We're going to reprimand those poachers.
Yeah, we're gonna punish them.
Mm,
They're gonna write
Yes.
lines for days.
Speaking of
no. Oh, go on.
speaking of poachers and members of the Sand Tribe, you see a member of the Sand Tribe walk up to the group of you, and he shouts, "My betrothed! You will not believe the adventure I've just been on." And he looks very familiar.
Oh,
Fuck me sideways. Is this his sister's fiance?
It
What?
is the sister's fiance.
or someone trying to be her fiance.
He looks to his sister. Betrothed?
This guy?
Ew, marriage is so overrated.
Okay, Avari's getting real progressive.
Which
Well,
point?
men are bossy.
You're pretty bossy.
So why do I need another?
Asiya will just shake her head and say, "Before you start commenting on culture, why don't we resolve this book-like turn of events
Mm,
in a trashy romance novel?"
he's a boy. Can he bend? I don't know. To be fair, the only frame of reference Avari has for romantic encounters is Brock. So,
Yeah. You know, just this entire situation makes me consider, has Asiya ever been in a real relationship, or has she just always been on the move?
I think she's got a guy in every town.
Oh, get it, Asiya?
Get them dividends.
I have one
Let's do
presence. I doubt that.
It's a carnal kind of relationship that you go
Yeah.
to the city in pursuit of.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. I very much doubt it, considering that she's been walking around with Karru for the past year or so.
Yeah, kids do tend to scare away potentials.
His
And
sister's
Karru's
name
scary.
is Kushala. And he turns
Shala.
he turns to his sister. Kushala, you have betrothed this man? He looks to Mum. How could you let that happen? This man is a poacher, a thief, a lowlife.
He is no such thing. What are you talking about?
He stole Bubbles.
What do you have to say for yourself, criminal? He
Hmm.
yells to that guy, the betrothed.
The douche.
Before we go throwing around accusations, let us take a moment and remember that the desert does not have laws, and that poaching is only poaching when done on animal reserves, such as.
He had a bow. Meaning Bubbles. Didn't he have like a ribbon or something around his neck?
Bubbles did.
Yeah.
While
Bubbles clearly belonged to somebody.
Asiya, I respect your wisdom. You are well traveled. You've seen much of the world that I could never even dream of. But you are an outlander. The desert has its ways, and they did not respect them. We would see this man punished. Is he with anybody or is he on his own?
He's on his own right now.
And then he says this to his mom and Kushala.
How would you see him punished? This is incredible. I can't believe that he would do such a thing.
Yeah, what do you have to say for yourself?
Because it was a grave misunderstanding, which I believe we have already resolved.
We
When
will
you
put
took
you in
for-
the gibbet.
What the
What?
hell is it given?
It's a high hanging cage that is
Very holy
that
rock.
holds prisoners on display until they succumb to dehydration. It's a
No.
Yeah.
No, that's a little. Even I think that's a little much.
I don't know. It's very common. Oh.
He's already set to get married. No, I guess I wouldn't know because this isn't my culture. So I'm just
Under
gonna
his-
ask and be super
Oh, go on.
ethnocentric here for a minute. To Tarim, not so quietly under her breath. Do you guys have dowries and stuff here? What does he get for marriage?
She gets an honor price.
She does, so he has to pay it.
That is correct.
Let's double it.
What? I pay.
That
I
way
cannot
he has
pay-
to.
We can No. We cannot pay my
No,
own
wait. Does he
sisters.
pay it? No, I'm saying does the husband pay it or does the family pay it?
Good question. I don't know. I'm making this up. The husband pays it.
Oh, let's charge him double if he wants to get married and start a new life and make up for the harm that he caused us.
Not to be the
He
one.
was trying to make a profit off of bubbles, so let's eat those profits.
Not to be the one to pop your.
That's pretty reasonable. Yes, Asiya?
Before you go threatening to break off a marriage and double your honor price, should you not learn about the man and see how vindictive his family can be?
I mean, his family wants him out of the house, right? That's why they're trying to marry him off, right?
If he's the one that pays for the wife, then they are not necessarily trying to kick him out because he is having the wife join his family.
I'd be open to an installment plan.
All I'm saying is that you cannot arbitrarily increase the price of anything without expectation of retribution in one form or another. Not to mention that if your sister does want this marriage, it would only make you seem like a at best it would make you seem like a sand shark in the hoping to find dregs from the buzzard wasps.
This is on you.
Do not make
These are your people. This is your culture. I don't think he should die, but I think we should see a punishment that's a bit more lasting and a bit more of a cautionary tale to anybody else.
I do not think making him pay double for the person he loves is a cautionary tale.
Is it love? She's gonna say that openly and loudly to the both of them.
So at the
That I'm
same time,
feeling.
he says yes, she says no.
Who says no?
The sister.
Good!
Yeah, we cannot make any decisions. This is Kushala's decision. And she said no.
Yeah.
Then when
So
she
you
says
don't...
no, like everybody looks, gasp.
Yeah.
No, Asiya just covers her face. She's trying to get this out without causing anything, and it doesn't seem to be going her way.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
No. Okay, cool. So I know that she doesn't want to get married. And he wants to marry her. Can I pull the sister aside?
At the very least, she doesn't want to get married to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can pull the sister aside for a second if you like.
Tarim is going to stand on the edge of the property in front, in front of the man or whatever, who the other guy, and he's just gonna stand there and stare at him, like hands behind his back,
Yeah.
not saying a word, while Avari has her aside with Kushala.
You don't love him, right?
I barely know him.
Okay. So, are you allowed to refuse?
Mother and I are quite poor. We need the money, and he was interested in me, so
What?
I could refuse.
What is poor in this economy?
If I may be so bold, what is your honor price?
She says it's going to be exchanged in terms of after her goats, right?
I'm sure they got goat something.
They have goat something. And goat something, as well as jewelry. Basically, it's all going to be worth 500 copper pieces.
Okay. I want to reach into my bag
It's pretty
and
low.
pull out the silver bells that I usually have in my hair.
Oh no!
Oh,
Are they like pure silver?
Yeah. I have about 10 of them. I usually wear 4 at a time. So about how much would these 10 go for?
Oh, sorry. Now I'm trying to do math here for a second.
Sorry, I'm really sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is
yeah,
fine.
make them do math. Yeah.
Math is the devil's work. Calculators are better.
Okay, so they're
Only
So-
for the uninformed.
each one is probably worth about 10 times that. So
What's the asking price per bell? Let's do that.
yeah, so it'd be roughly 25 copper pieces per bell.
Pieces per bell.
So that'd be 250 copper pieces. If you were to do all of them, which I'm not suggesting you do, I'm just doing that.
No, that's kind of where I'm thinking. I want to buy him out.
Well, here's my thought on this process.
Okay.
This is going into sketchy territory, as you are now trying to buy a woman.
No, I want her to be able to buy herself out.
Basically, that she'll be financially independent enough to basically be like, screw you, I'm not marrying you.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
The problem here is that they still don't have a trade.
Right. 25 times. Hang on.
Asiya will will walk into this and says, "What are you planning?"
She doesn't want to marry him. She doesn't even know him. They're asking 500 for. I have these, and she's gonna just show the bells in her bag, and
And what will
I
that?
don't need them. My hair looks better down anyway. I know it's not supposed to technically be down right now, but we need to.
Avari, Avari, calm down. I need you to think.
We can't.
What will you accomplish by giving her 500 copper
She'd be free.
for a year?
She could sell them,
You
melt
would,
them down, make them into I don't know.
you would only be delaying this eventuality. If you wish to get her out of this betrothal, what she needs is stability and a way to provide for herself. If you give a man a fish, you will feed him for a day. If you teach him to fish, you will feed him for life. Instead of giving her something that will only delay this eventuality, you need to give her something that will make her independent from this culture. My suggestion, are we not trying to develop a trade between the Water Nation and the Bei Fong family?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that someone along the way can learn how to be a merchant.
Suppose we would need an ambassador.
And what better than someone that is related to you tangentially, but not fully committed to you?
Yeah. That could work.
It might also buy us time to procure the funds, as I don't think they'll take silver bells.
And if we're going back home, I could get like a down payment.
You could.
Okay.
Do not try and solve people's problems with gifts. It does not do much. Solve it with solutions.
I'm gonna look to Kashala, who I assume has been listening while we're trying to save her.
She has been.
It would involve some travel on your part, not right away, but you'd be spending a fair amount of your time traveling and working between the Bei Fong estate and the people of the Northern Water Tribe by way of my uncle, the chief.
I've always wanted to travel, just like my big brother. I would be most welcome for this opportunity.
It gets cold up there, so I'll bring you back some furs, okay?
In fact,
Oh.
if we wish to
Oh,
resolve
man.
this situation as quickly as possible,
Mhm.
we could take them with us.
Uh, we could. That's not my call to make, but I'm always grateful for the company.
And Asiya will gesture for
Mhm.
Tarim to come over.
He will do so after scowling one more time at this gentleman.
We may have a solution.
Does it involve this man paying his debt?
It involves him not getting the girl.
He looks to his sister. Is this what you want?
Yes. Please, yes. And she looks like she's almost begging you.
Please.
We will teach her. We will let her learn the trade of a merchant. by coming along with us to the Northern Water Tribe to start learning how it is to negotiate, as well as being Avari's ambassador between the Bei Fongs and the Northern Water Tribe.
What?
The
No,
Your sister, at the moment, is tangentially related to Avari because she is your Avari is a companion of yours, and your sister is your sister. But your sister is not committed to Avari in any way, which makes her a neutral party, and because she is technically part of the Sand Nations, the that will have a level of trust between her and the Bei Fongs that comes from being one of their own. Of course, we would need to get her some Earth Kingdom style clothing rather than the Sand Nomads, and possibly put her in a presentable style akin to Avari. But it is a solution to get her out of this while we figure, while as a that can be semi-permanent.
I don't know anything about any of these politics. I am a
I know
cunning
that
man, but I am not a clever one. If it means that
my
my sister does not have to marry this man, and she accepts, then I accept.
Your sister's nodding eagerly up and down. Yes. Yes, I accept.
this will also elevate your family um, to a much higher status than they currently have. And with that, I can hope provide an additional layer of protection so that when you do decide to marry, it is someone that you love, not someone who's just hoping to get his way.
His sister looks at you and says, "Yes, I wish to marry for love, and not merely for convenience."
It's not easy being a pawn, and if I can help at least you,
I wish to be a queen.
Kushala says this?
yeah, because we're talking
Yeah.
in chess pieces.
Oh.
Oh,
You are ambitious, Kushala.
let's
You
start you out as an ambassador and see where you go, huh?
All right.
And then we all died because we're captured by the Fire Nation.
Hey,
With that,
rip.
why don't we end it there? Because I know Kiki has to get going to do some apartment searching.
All right.
house hunting for Kiki.
House.
Oh, house.
All right. For those of you who joined us, as always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe and ring that bell to get more content like this. Stay frosty.